All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. I apologize. Like I said, I set everything up. The camera looks great. Everything looks great. And then I go live and it is an entirely different shot. So yeah, it's really funny. You try and prep, and then they help you out. And it makes it very difficult when you're doing this and you're trying to start off smooth. So last night we started on prepping the Viper for the. We're taking the car got invited, and I got invited, I guess, to a black tie event at the Rolex 24 in Daytona this weekend. It's on Thursday night. It's a private party for Haggerty Insurance, a really cool specialty insurance company for vehicles, and so I wanted to make sure the car was super clean. It's going to be featured there, so you want to make sure your ride looks nice. And while I do my best to keep my car clean, we're going to do a little extra detail. That's why we have all of the doors open and trunk up and hood up and everything. So I wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough. Excuse me. Burgers tonight were awesome because I'm getting better at grilling. I wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough on the Viper and what's under the hood, what's in the interior, what's in the trunk, that sort of thing. You don't usually see that. So what I've done is the car's been washed. The wheels obviously have been washed. Hopefully you can tell the difference. And I did not do wheels off. So I did everything except. And car's been washed, wheels have been washed, interior's been vacuumed. Engine bay's been cleaned, and trunk's been cleaned and emptied. There was a myriad of stuff in there that needed to come out. Stuff I've just stored in there for a while. So I figured I'd do a run through the Viper, and then if you guys have any questions, you can, you're more than welcome to ask. I just got a message here. Hang on one second. Make sure all of my audio and everything is working. Yep. That is correct. Everything is working correctly. So that's the good news. Just a basic rundown. This is a 2008 Dodge Viper SRT 10. This is the Aero Coupe package. So this is the little brother to the ACR. What the ACR has is it has two canards here. And it has the adjustable shocks, the Moton adjustable shocks, and the rear wing goes all the way out to the hips versus mine, which just comes to the body line here. Well, you can see where it comes here. So those are the differences between the Aero Coupe and the, and I have carpet and I have a battery cover. I do not have a transponder. So it's a little different. There's a couple of different things on the ACRs. At the time I bought this, I should have bought boughten. Is boughten a word? I should have bought a ACR, knowing that I was going to track this for 2 years and race it and all that other stuff. I should have gotten an ACR. But my friend Bill had this, and I saw it at a few Viper events, and I absolutely loved it with the two-tone interior. It had the aero that I wanted, and it did have different wheels. These are I call them the Vegas wheels, the H spokes. I got the 6 spokes, and I got them powder coated to match the stripes. But otherwise, I absolutely love the car. I thought it was great, and Bill takes very, very good care of his cars, so I didn't have to worry about anything being weird on it. And I put a ton of miles on this. I put with racing and all the other driving, put probably 30,000 miles on the car, 35,000 miles. Who's here? Hey, Liz. Okay, audio video does work good. Okay, cool. No, you made a good choice with her. Yeah, I think I did. The car's name is Tracy, and I try to name all the cars. It makes it easier for identification. I don't have a name for the Miata yet. I do have to figure that out. But the Altima is named Medusa. This car is named Tracy, and the Tracy comes from the band Great White had a music video called they had this model. Her name is Tracy Martinson. She was featured in a couple of Great White videos for the band Great White. And so this is a very bizarre circle. I'll try and explain it. Ian Hunter originally did this song Once Bitten, Twice Shy. And Ian Hunter also did the song Cleveland Rocks. And I was living in Ohio at the time. So Ian Hunter, Cleveland Rocks. Ian Hunter, Great White, with the cover of Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I'm a Mark Kendall fan, who's a guitar player for Great White. And so it kind of came around. And then Tracy is the girl in the music video. So Tracy Martinson. And so that's how it kind of came around to Tracy. So I'm also an Ian Hunter fan. I think he writes great songs. He wrote great songs, Mott the Hoople, and then all of his solo stuff. So that's where the name Tracy comes from. That's where the car came from. My friend Bill lives in Kentucky. He sold the car to me, and then he got an Aston Martin for a few years. And then he sent me a message. He's like, I can't do this really nice touring coupe thing. I need more violence in my life. So he got a Gen 5 ACR. He went back to Viper. Yeah, yeah, you're correct, Liz. Both great versions of the song. So I'll go through the interior so we get the doors closed, so the battery turns off, and then we'll go through the engine bay. So I'll bring you guys over. Hopefully the car looks a little bit better than it did last night. I guess when we close all the doors and everything, it'll look better. But I'll give you guys a quick run through. Also, the Miata got cleaned up today. My friends were driving it all weekend and got all the sand and all the other stuff off of it. They didn't harm the car, just wanted to get it clean again. So I don't know what's dragging there, but we'll stop that. This is the interior of the car, and I'm going to grab the camera and come down here. So this is going to look a little weird for a second while I try to get in the car. It is a very tight fit. There's no screwing around in this car. You are not ripping through TikTok. You are not texting grandmama or anything like that. You are focused on driving. And if I get all the way in the car, and then I can't really, like, well, I guess I can do this. Hang on. Okay, now lights and stuff come on, and the wipers are on. So that's what it looks like inside the car. That's pretty much the driving position right there. And you have your tach in the center, your fuel gauge, speedometer, and then you have all of your gauges over here, which are it's in a really nice line. So when you're at the track, when you're ripping down the track, you have a nice straightaway that you're going down. All you have to do is run your eyes straight down here and make sure all the gauges are at 12 o'clock. That makes it very simple. I have an aftermarket stereo in here, but it all matches the original. And it has a DVD player, but more importantly, it has Bluetooth. You could not get Bluetooth with this car. AC controls. I turned the cigar ash receiver into a actual drink holder, so it'll actually hold a Rockstar. Still have the standard shifter. I like the distance between here and the shifter. The short column shifter's not my thing. I like the getting my hands back on the wheel quicker. So the shifter's right here. And it's not too long of a throw. It's actually a pretty short throw shifter. So it's not terrible at all. Standard emergency brake. And then this car has the two-tone interior. You can tell with and then Bill did these carbon fiber. I still have to wipe a bunch of stuff down here. Bill did these carbon fiber panels aftermarket. And then here we have, this is kind of a cool thing, and you're not going to be able to see it because the stereo's not on, but it'll light up. That is actually the front camera. Oh, there it goes. That's the camera at the nose of the car. And this edge right here is the front splitter, so I don't bonk the splitter when I pull into parking spaces. And then turn the camera off, the vent goes back into place. This vent spins all the way around. I modified it so it'd do that. So that switch is totally hidden most of the time. The other thing we have is the fun button. And that's the fun button right there. And we hit that, and it locks up the two front calipers. So we can do huge burnouts. It also works as launch control. And then when you want to turn it off, boom, that's it. So again, everything's kind of totally hidden. And I changed all the uh, backlights to red because these two gauges reflect on the windshield. Whoa, sorry. These two gauges reflect on the windshield at night, and it looks like there's a motorcycle coming right at me. So I changed them to red, and it's a lot more comfortable at night when you're driving. So those are kind of the mods that I've done inside. This is a radar detector and laser detector that's wired in. It's all hardwired into the car. It's all behind the dash here. The sensors, the laser sensor for the front is up here behind the mirror. In the back, it's by the license plate. And then the radar detector is behind the front valance up front and behind the rear valance in the back. Everything else is pretty much stock, all the pedals. I do have 6-point harnesses in this car, and they're expired, but they still work great. And there's an awesome sound system in this car. It's by Alpine. So you have no shortage of kick-ass tunes. I guess that's kind of it. I fit pretty comfortably in this car. I never had any complaints. The seat's up about 2 notches. I go about 2 notches closer when I'm racing, just because I really want to be on the wheel. Here's a good shot of the two-tone on the door panels. So you can see the cognac leather and the black. It works really well. I just really like this. And in 2008, they only made 2 of these Aero Coupes with the two-tone, black and silver stripes with the two-tone interior. And it's funny because the other one comes up for sale. I don't know, once every couple of years, and I get about 50 messages from people. Hey, you should buy the other one. What the hell am I going to do with the other one? I already have one. So let me close the doors, and then you guys can see I still have to wipe down a whole bunch of the outside. I've done, I got washed and everything today, but there's still a whole bunch of touch up that I have to do tonight before it gets loaded on the trailer in the morning. So I'll take you over to the trunk. I'm just going to come on. Well, I guess I can stay on this side. Doesn't really matter. The trunk is, of course, there's no light back here. Hang on. Let me grab a light. Oh, and let me turn off the car so I don't have a dead battery tomorrow. There we go. And I can probably turn off the lights. Okay. So let me grab a light here. And the trunk deck, the deck lid kind of blocks the light. So, of course, I won't go there. I'll go right there, though. There we go. That's a little better light. So we have a nice trunk, and this section lifts out, this carpeted section, because here's our spare tire, which is just an air compressor, a little tiny air compressor with some slime built into it. That's your spare tire. So this guy folds over, and this is your access to your battery tray. My friend Chris made this for me. This is a carbon fiber battery cover. And then I have the Zeus fasteners here. The original fasteners are these super long bolts. They're like 2 inches long, and they take forever to zoom out of there. So the Zeus fasteners work really well. And Chris did a great job on this carbon fiber piece. I'm really happy with it. So that's the one thing that I do have that the ACRs have, is I have a carbon fiber battery cover, just like the ACRs. So, and there's a bunch of markings in here too from people who have worked, checked the car. These two I think are pretty much the same. And then SG, I don't know who that is. But those stay in there. And then I usually have a boost box in here and some detailing stuff over in the corner. Sometimes, depending on the state I'm in, if I'm in Ohio, I have my front license plate that I can clip on really quick. I have a little clip-on thing just to be legal, but we don't have to do that anymore, thankfully. These are little tie-down straps that I have if I have to tie down anything. Ralph Shields told me that if you want a successful sports car, you have to be able to hold 2 golf bags. That's the minimum. And this car will hold 2 golf bags, not like Rodney Dangerfield Caddyshack golf bags, but like regular golf bags. You can get 2 golf bags in here. I can get those 2 double chairs in the back here, no problem. And you do have some storage over the, this is suspension and fuel cell. So you do have storage on the lid here a little bit, but most of it is in here, and it's actually pretty deep. So you do have really, actually pretty good storage in the Viper. That's about it. So yeah, I keep kind of minimal stuff in here. I don't need any more weight over the back. It's actually has really, really good traction when you have good tires. So we'll close the trunk lid up. Oh, it's squeaky clean. This is the cleanest my glass has been in probably 2 years. So it took about 2 hours to do all of the glass in the car. Oh, that's actually a pretty good shot right there. Accidentally a good shot. So what else do we have here? We've got other notes. She rides great. Can't not smile in that. Yep. I like the double negative there. So here's our engine bay. And this is, I don't know why it won't go straight. Why won't you go straight? Just go head on. All right, well, I'm trying. I'm honestly trying. This is the engine bay, and this will kind of mess you up a little bit. The engine is actually 1.25 inches towards the passenger side. Why? Why not have it absolutely centered? Like, I'll show you the center on the windshield. Where's my little finger guy? Where is he? He's right here. Yeah, my pointer. You know, it's funny. I saw my buddy Eric Hargert using one of these. So right there is the center of the car. And you can see the engine is a little bit that way. Because if they had it centered, the footwell, your feet would be sticking out of the fender. So this is the foot box, the pedal box. So they had to move everything a little bit that way in order to get the pedal box in there. So that's why the engine is slightly off center. Not a lot, just a little bit. And that's one of the fun facts about the car. The radar detector, you guys can't really see it. It's here. It's behind the fascia. It's tucked in. And then the camera is actually down here. Where is he? He's right there. He's underneath this thing. And he looks straight down at the fascia right here, or at the splitter. Radar you can put behind the fascia because it'll pick up radar right through that plastic, no problem. Or high density polyurethane, whatever you want to call it. Another fun part is the whole front clip of the Viper is made out of what's called SMC. And if you watch that SEMA video from a couple of years ago, carbon fiber, carbon fiber, carbon fiber, carbon fiber, carbon fiber. SMC stands for slush mold carbon. And what it is it's chunks of carbon fiber that are pressed together. It's very much like forged carbon fiber. It's kind of the same thing, just the pieces aren't as nicely cut. It's more very rough, but they're put into a mold with the epoxy that holds it together. And then it's put under incredible hot, like very, very high pressure. And that's what the whole front clip of the car is made out of, is called SMC. So it's kind of like old school forged carbon fiber. That's the best way to describe it. And then forged carbon fiber is a little different. They use different epoxy. They use different pieces of carbon to get that look. But this is the same kind of thing. And it's called SMC. A lot of cars use it. Usually higher end cars, you're not going to find it in a Kia Soul. But on higher end cars, you'll find SMC for different components. Sometimes they use it in doors. Sometimes they use it in trunk lids, stuff like that, to help keep weight down, but structural integrity really high. So that's it. Oil cooler over here. One of the mods that I did is I did AN fittings for the oil cooler. You guys can kind of see them right there. And I used power grips for the clamps here because I love power grips. I should change these out. One of these days I'll change these out to power grips too. We have our ACRX computer in here, but you can't really see. It's red. And that's our ECU right there. Airbox. This car is drive-by-wire, so it is not a cable. And that was a little weird at first, but you kind of get used to it and you figure out how to ride it. It works all right. Um, Also, we have braided lines all the way around for the brakes. And then the line lock, the launch control, we have the extra lines. I hid the line lock back here. Where did he go? He's hidden right under here. He's underneath the fuse box and the brake fluid reservoir. So you can't really tell that it has line lock on it. It's nicely hidden. That's about it on the car. There really hasn't been that many mods. It's very very clean. The ACRX computer is the biggest thing. That's a lot of horsepower, a lot of very, very cool stuff in the ACRX computer. Very happy with that. That was a good score. So that's it. And then here's another fun one. Dodge doesn't really do handles, so they do cutouts. Like for the trunk, there's no handle to pull down the trunk. It's a cutout in the plastic, and you just use two fingers. Just use two fingers and pull it down. Same thing with the hood. There's no like way to do this. You just put your fingers in there. You can use the, supports on the side, but that's about it. And then for the last 6-7 inches, you just let it drop and it latches. Doesn't hurt the car at all. It doesn't hurt the hood. There's a lot of guys that the hood release is actually here. It's not inside the car. The reason, now this is going to sound crazy, the reason they put the hood release there is for weight. If you run a cable all the way up to the front, it weighs more than just running a very short cable right up to the latch. They're saving weight everywhere. So that's why they have it right here. It's nuts where they save weight. So come here. There's a lot of guys that do it like this. They'll drop it, set it here, and then latch it that way. You can do it either way. It doesn't hurt. So also, yeah, if you're looking for a matching silver in powder coat, it's called Cascade Silver. I don't know who makes it, but it's almost a perfect match to my wheels. So if you're looking for something that matches the Cascade Silver stripes on your Viper, that's it. You can kind of see it's almost a perfect match. It's hard to get paint to match powder coat. They're two very different materials. So yeah, that's kind of hard. Oh, we got another message here. What does this say? The most important accessory is the Super Troopers on DVD. Yeah. The radio in the car, the head unit, is also not only does Bluetooth, but it's also a DVD player. So I have Super Troopers on DVD in there. Obviously, you can't play that. We get a copyright strike and all that jazz, but it does have it in there. So that's the car. You guys are wondering about tires. Currently, we have 285, 275s up front, 345s in the rear. These will be 295s up front, and they will be 355s in the rear. We have very little sidewall here, so we're going to add a little bit of sidewall up front. We're going to add a little bit of sidewall in the back, and we're also going to run completely different tires. So I got the Michelin's, the Sport Cups in the back, because that's all that was available at the time. I have a burnout problem, and I was burning through tires very quickly. The only thing that was available were these Sport Cups, and they're okay, but not for me. Maybe for someone else, they're great. And these are Nitto Imbos. These are they're really cheap, and they're a very good tire in the wet. And in Ohio, we had a lot of rain. So I like this tire in the wet, but they're all done too. So we'll get a full matching set all the way around. Probably Kumho, maybe Continental Extreme Contact Forces, if I can find them in a 355 or even a 345. They've made promises to make a big tire, but they haven't yet. So that's the good stuff. Still haven't gotten a call from these guys yet, or an email, or a text, or anything remotely close to that. I guess I can lean on it. Yeah. Um, what else was I going to say? Car is extremely clean. I guess I'm about 95% of the way there. I have to finish packing tonight, obviously, and then tomorrow morning the car will get loaded on the trailer, and we'll go up to Daytona tomorrow. The party, I have to be at the venue at 5, and then I have to stay, of course, the whole time because I have to unload or take the car out whenever the party's over. So if it goes till midnight or 1 or 2, whatever, I got to kind of hang with the car. Uh, but I do have time to get the car spiffy, and then I'll have touch-up stuff with me at the show for when people put their booger hooks all over the car. I can actually wipe stuff down. So um, that is kind of it. Like I said, the car is super clean. This is the cleanest it's been probably in 2 years. The glass is definitely the cleanest it's been in probably more than that, 3 years. Just spent a lot of time cleaning glass. And I think I told you guys this before, but I'll reiterate it. So what I use for cleaning glass is, this is a brand new can, so I'll show that. And it doesn't matter. We'll try not to get a copyright strike here. So I use this stuff for cleaning glass, spray away glass cleaner. I've been using it forever. It smells like junior high, which is kind of cool. It's a fantastic glass cleaner. It's ammonia free, streak free, foams. It works really, really, really well. And then we'll do this. Again, I don't want to get a copyright strike. I got to find something that's not copywritten. This is an ad. We don't use those. But okay, there we go. I use newspaper to clean glass. Don't use a microfiber. Don't use a paper towel. They'll leave a bunch of lint, or they'll not work. They'll leave streaks and stuff. So you use crumpled newspaper. Why do we use newspaper? Because it's actually woven. This is technically, if you want to go old school, this is papyrus. This is actually woven paper. And it doesn't come apart. It doesn't leave a bunch of lint. Newspaper is the best way to clean glass. My grandmother taught me that on my mom's side. And I watched her do, the sliding glass windows, the sliding glass doors at our house, and they were just spectacular. And, I was just a little kid, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it works great on automotive glass too. So there's, obviously specialty stuff that you can get, but for me, I get a newspaper once a month, and I just keep a stack of it there. So I have a friend that's already out there, and with pictures taken so far, they have a lot of absolutely views there already. Yeah, I saw the debut show, or the whatever you want to call it, the introduction show, and they had a whole bunch of the cars that are racing. They had them on display, and yeah, there's some really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Like I said last night, Michael Shank is just because I know him from Ohio, and he's a racer, and he's a really cool guy. He's the team I'm pulling for. The Aston Martin Valkyrie, and the McLaren, because I've friends that are with the McLaren team. And then the bonus, the honorable mention, is AO Racing. I really like pulling for those guys. They have cool cars, great graphics, awesome story behind them, and very, very cool team. So those are the 3 in honorable mention that I'm pulling for. You guys can pick your own. A lot of Porsche fans out there. All manufacturers, all the stuff. So pick one that you like and follow along. Like I said, they're on full-time stream is on Peacock. They'll have the full 24 hours. NBC will be cutting in their programming throughout the evening and morning, and they'll probably do like hour blocks or maybe a 2-hour block. And so you'll get it on NBC Sports, but if you want to watch the whole thing, watch it on Peacock. And watch for a commentator named Brian Till. He's fantastic. He was my racing instructor, and he's really really good. Very fun, very knowledgeable, and probably he could probably get in one of those cars and hot lap, no problem. He'd stay on the lead lap. So definitely check out Brian Till. He does a lot of really cool stuff with Peacock and NBC. He's been doing it for a long time too, probably like 2 decades. And great driver, really nice guy. And if you run into him at the supermarket in Ohio, don't try and pass him. That's an inside joke with Brian. Um, great glass tip. Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's see what else. You can also use newspaper for cleaning other stuff if it's a delicate surface. Newspaper is really good too because it is woven and it picks up dirt really really well. So it's something else you can use aside from like a shop rag or a microfiber or whatever. You can actually use newspaper. It's pretty strong. It's pretty durable. So just another option for you. What else? So yeah, we have the black tie party tomorrow evening, and then Friday we have the historic races at Daytona, and then Saturday afternoon 1:40 the race starts, and it goes 24 hours, so it'll finish Sunday at 1:40. And like I said, I'm going to try and do it live. I'm going to take one of the gimbals with me, and probably one of the tracker ones, and I'll try and find a quiet place. I'll bring the mics with me, and we'll try and do a live stream from Daytona, either somewhere in the middle of the night or at the finish, and I'll let you guys know 1, 2, 3, and we'll try and do something like that so you guys can join me at the Rolex 24. It is really cool. Daytona is massive. It's like, I don't know. When you're walking, it probably takes you 45 minutes to go just walking with a clear path, nobody in your way or cars backing up or motorhomes getting out. It's probably 45 minutes to walk from one side to the other. It's huge. It's really, really huge. And they have a very cool paddock. Even during the race, they have these big windows on the side of each of the pit areas, and you can watch the teams actually working on the car, whatever they're doing, not in the pits, but in their paddock area. The paddock's usually blocked off during the race, so you can't like hang out and do cool shit. But on Friday, you'll be able to walk around the paddock and talk to people, and that's really cool. You see a lot of really amazing engineering. They tested out, manufacturers like Porsche and Chevy and all that stuff. They tested stuff out at the race events, and then they slowly incorporated it into the production vehicle. So it's cool to see it in a race vehicle and then eventually in a production vehicle. You're like, wow, that's really cool. I remember when that was in the LMP car in 2026. Yeah, now it's in a production car. So it's cool to see that. What else? The people are very friendly. Everyone I've talked to, the people at Multimatic who run the Mustangs, they're very, very cool people. Like I told you guys last night, that Mustang LED that's on the back, if you check out the Mustangs, they have this really cool LED Mustang graphic that comes up over the rear tire. It is actually, that LED is part of the wrap. It is incredibly expensive, but it is super cool. It is 12 volts. It works off the regular system in the car. It is very, very cool how they do that. It would be cool if they, eventually that got cheaper and people could do really kick-ass graphics on their car with the LEDs. It looks really cool. At night, it looks absolutely amazing. 2 o'clock in the morning, watching that Mustang come through, it's really cool. It's really cool. So check the Mustang folks out there. They race under Multimatic. Multimatic is the company that builds the cars. So they race under Multimatic, but it's the Ford GTD and the Mustang GTD. Who else is there? Corvette, and Porsche always has a kick-ass team. Roger Penske and all of those guys always have. They have incredible drivers. They have great cars. Cadillac is there. They're going to have great cars, great drivers. Check out Jordan Taylor. He's very funny, and he's a very, very good driver. Check him out on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Check him out on social media. He's very funny. He's a very good driver. He's got a couple of Rolex watches. When you win, they give you a Rolex, which is kind of cool. That's part of the victor's spoils. Trying to think of the other stuff. Um, it's a lot of fun. It's very intense, and for the teams, it's very hard because as spectators, you only have basically 24, 25 hours. You know, you get there a little bit early, watch the start of the race. You can watch the whole thing, stay up the whole time. The race ends, and then you go home. For the teams, they're somewhere between 30 and 40 hours straight. They're awake 30 to 40 hours straight. So, depending on what their role is with the team, it is hardcore. It is really hardcore. So, except the team owners, you know, they fly in their helicopter back to their luxury mansion on the beach and then come back for the finish of the race, right? They're not, they're not staying up for 40 hours. They'll get a phone call or a text or whatever if there's a problem. But yeah, they're very, very intense with trying to keep these cars going, trying to keep them on the track. They are taking an incredible amount of abuse. So it's great to see, you know, all of these people like just jam into the pits and rip out quick pit stops or pull the car into the paddock and, you know, rip out like the entire rear end and put a whole new rear end in and get right back out on track. They're pretty amazing watching this stuff. And then for some of the cars with the hybrid setups, they have to rewire stuff. You know, everything's got to be plugged back in. Brakes have to be bled. Clutch has to be bled. All that stuff. And they do this stuff so quickly. So that's really cool to watch when you can get a notification or whatever. Those guys are coming in. And then you jam down to the paddock and you watch them, you know, change out like a whole front corner in 3 minutes. That's amazing. You know, take me 2 hours, 3 hours to change the control arms on the Viper and put new brakes and bleed in there. And they do it in 3 minutes. You know, they have everything and they got 20 people working on it all at once. And it's pretty cool to watch. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's tons of merchandise. All the manufacturers have displays. So Cadillac, Chevy, Nissan, Aston Martin, everyone has these big displays and they show their production cars next to one of the models of their race cars. And that's really cool. Toyota usually has some vintage stuff there, some of their previous GTD cars or their prototype cars. And it's really cool seeing those. Last year Mustang had some really cool vintage stuff, you know, some 64 and a halves and some SCCA stuff from back in the day, back in the 70s. They had some really cool stuff. So manufacturers bring out really cool stuff for displays. Merchandise. Oh boy. If you want merch, you're going to pay. You are going to pay. T-shirts range, just a t-shirt that says 24 Hours of Daytona 2026 with a basic graphic on the back and a little badge on the front, going to be somewhere between $50 and $60. A t-shirt, not a polo shirt. Polo shirt's going to be $80 more, you know, $80, 85. You want a jacket or a team jacket, you're going to pay huge money. Merchandise is very, very expensive there. Hats start at about $35 just for a baseball hat that says McLaren on it. That's, you know, not even a manufacturer, it just says Daytona, 24 Hours of Daytona. They'll start $35, $40 for a hat. So merchandise is very, very expensive. If you can, go get it online. If you have to get it there, cool, but go get it online. Let's see, what else? You make a lot of cool friends. You meet really cool people when you're walking through the grounds, like when you're going from turn 2 over to turn 7 or going over by the Ferris wheel or over towards the pits. You meet a ton of cool people and there's everything. There's CEOs, there's full blast rednecks, there's, you know, hardcore geeks, and then first time, you know, track people. You meet every kind of people there. And it's a lot of fun. You meet, you know, you just have this huge, you know, spread of all these different kinds of people. There's people that got there, I think they got there on Thursday or Friday of last week, and they've been camped there. And they're watching practices, they're watching Roar of the 24, they're watching all this other stuff. And then they'll stay there until Sunday evening or Monday, and then they'll take off. And they have, huge toter home setups or their motor homes. There's hundreds. I don't think there's thousands, but I think there's hundreds of motorhome and camping spots. So these guys bring these huge motorhomes in, and they're there for the whole week. Yeah, and that's pretty hardcore. I appreciate that. We're only up there for 3 or 4 days, so we'll be okay with that. Let's see. I will definitely take tons of pictures. I'll put it up on my social media. From tomorrow night, I'll take pictures of the black tie event. And then on Friday, I'll try and get some good historic shots. My friend Nick Fry is coming down. He's an awesome photographer. He's going to take incredible pictures. So on social media, I'll probably link to Nick's pictures because he's a way better shooter than I am. I'm taking pictures with an iPhone. He's got a 300 mil and a DSLR and all this shit. So Nick's got really cool stuff. Trying to think if I have any other photographer friends coming up. If you are a photographer friend, you're going up, let me know. I'll throw out a link to your pictures in my social media, and folks can go check that out. Nick takes really great pictures. He did some pictures last year with the Ferris wheel, and I don't remember the car. I want to say it was the Valkyrie, but I think it was a different car. Flames coming out with the Ferris wheel, like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was really cool shot. What else? We got more messages here. Iconic place for all enthusiasts. Yeah, because Daytona, they do NASCAR, they do IMSA, they do all this other stuff. So they have track days up there. You can actually take your car up on the oval and then come back down to the road course. And they have autocrosses up there. They have tons of other events. So they have the ARCA series, they have a truck series, they have all this other stuff that they do up at Daytona. And this is the big one, right? And the Daytona 500 is in just a couple weeks, which is that's like the big game of NASCAR. So that's the huge one for them. So yeah, all the Rolex people clear out, they pick up all the garbage, and then all the NASCAR people come in, and it'll be the same kind of thing. They'll get there at least a week before the Daytona 500. They'll get there probably 10, maybe even 2 weeks before. As soon as the IMSA people come out and they're allowed to come in, they'll jam right in and get their parking spots. And that's fun to watch. That's a lot of hardcore racing. So January is a busy racing month. We're coming to the end of January, and then we've got February. We've got a ton of race prep for the Lemons races that we're doing. We're doing our best to run 2 cars, and that's a pit race in April. Or sorry, such a bad habit. That is at Mid-Ohio in April. And after that, what else do we have? Medusa has to get prepped for its race in October, going back to the Freedom Factory for the Ultima 600 again, which was so much fun. So we'll do that again. And then we also have other Lemons races in between April and December. I think we have 2 other events. We have NCM and something else. I can't remember what else we had on the schedule. So we have tons of Lemons events coming up. We're going to run 2 cars as much as we can. If we only run the MR6, okay, still fun as hell. And so I'll keep you guys updated on all that stuff. I think that's about it. So check my social media for pictures from tomorrow night. If I can, I might do a live stream with you guys. Actually, I'll probably do it on Facebook and Instagram, and then my personal channel here. Because I'm picking up my friend Chris tomorrow at the airport with the Viper. I'm just going to go to the airport with the Viper in the trailer, and I'm going to pick Chris up. So we might do a live stream in between Orlando and Daytona. We might say hi to everyone, and you guys are going to get a gnarly storm in Ohio. So a bunch of our friends are coming down from Ohio. We have a nice big group of 7 or 8 guys that are going to go to the event. So these guys are all escaping somewhere between 10 and 15 inches of snow this coming weekend, and they're coming down to 85 degrees and 65 at night. So they're making a smart move. So we might do a live stream from that. I'll talk to Chris, see if he's up for it. And otherwise, I will do my very best to do a live stream from Daytona itself during the race, whether it's at the finish or just after the start or 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I'll I'll definitely try and get a live stream in there, and I'll let you guys know how many steps I do, all of that stuff, because you do a ton of walking. I'm gonna have buns of steel after after going to Daytona last year. Legs were sore, and you definitely knew you'd worked out, and so it'll be the same thing this year. We'll do a ton of walking around. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, and then we'll be back here in the shop. We're gonna do what do we have here? We have the motorcycle. We're going to do an oil change on the NC700X, and we're also going to do an oil change on the Grom. And we have some other small stuff that we'll do. So I'll keep bringing you guys this stuff. You guys like it. Thanks to all the new subscribers. It just keeps, every day it keeps growing a little bit, and I love that. Thank you guys very much. I'm glad you're enjoying this because I love doing it. I love teaching you guys. I love learning about all the other stuff. So it's great for me. I really enjoy it. And like I said, I don't get paid a single dime for this. YouTube doesn't give me any money. Rockstar doesn't pay me anything. Dodge doesn't pay me anything. Mazda doesn't pay. Toyota, no one is giving me a check for any of this. I don't get anything free either. So I can't even say like, oh, this is the best because, they sent me one. I don't get any of that stuff. So I'm glad you guys appreciate it because I love doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it, like I said, as long as I can. And if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, definitely put them down there. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions. If there's a car that you want to see or something in particular you want to see, how do window regulators work? How do you replace shocks on a Miata? That sort of thing. Shoot me a message. Let me know there's something you want to see, and I'll try and go and I'll find a vehicle or I'll use one of my vehicles and we'll go into detail on it, whether it's wiring or suspension or engine or whatever it is. I'll try and get in there and show you super details on it. If there's a car you want to see, a Mustang, a Corvette, or whatever, shoot me a message and we'll try and get that car over here and we'll go through it. We'll talk with the owner and we'll try and go through it and show some of the special stuff on it. And I think that's about it for right now. We're doing pretty good. Who else is here? Looking for Fat Kid Joey. Mr. Sauce TV. Or is it Mrs. Oss TV? No, it's Mr. Sauce TV. Can I buy your Viper? My Viper is for sale. My Viper is for sale for, let's see, what do I need for this car? My Viper is for sale for $499,999, and I will include a full tank of gas and the car cover. That's how much a Voodoo 2 costs. So that's what I would sell my Viper for. No one's willing to pay that for my car, but like I said, if someone asks, that's my asking price for the car. Or I guess that's my reserve for the car, $490K. Then I can get a Voodoo 2, and then you guys probably won't ever hear from me again because I'll just be at the track all the time. I know that's sad, but that's how it is. This car I think this car just turned, I think I'm 59,000 miles, 58,000 or 59,000 miles on it. I'd have to look again, but it has immaculate maintenance and all of the fluids have always been perfect. 0 accidents. I did race it for 2 years. There's some little paint chips on the front, but nothing too drastic. All the glass is clean. Everything works. Undercarriage is immaculate. You could eat off the valve covers. Everything's pretty clean in this car. And after I finish it tonight, wiping it all down, it'll be super, super, super clean. So, yeah, it's not really for sale. It's one of those hard things that, like, if I did sell it, it would have to be, it's like pit race. You'd have to put a huge number on a napkin in order for me to sell this because I would have to replace it immediately. And Vipers are very, very expensive. Gen 4s, Gen 5s are big, big, big money. So that's why it has the ridiculous asking price on it. That's the only reason. What else we got here? $425. Dude, if you want to buy my car for $425, I'll skip the Haggerty party tomorrow. I'll skip the VIP party tomorrow if your mechanic will come by. Otherwise, we'll be back here on Monday. Yeah, shoot me a message, man. $425. I'll sell it. Absolutely. You know what kind of rock star hero I would be in the Viper world if I sold a Gen 4 for $425,000? Yeah. Yeah. If I sold one for $225,000, I would get a crown, probably one of those staffs, a really cool chair. Yeah. Sorry, not a chair, a throne. Yeah. No. I know you're kidding, but if you are serious, I know I sound like White Goodman there. No, but seriously. No, but if you do, I got it. Yeah. No, if you want to pay $425, man. Serious. I'll load it on the trailer for you. It's a Gen 4. Let's see. OAX Apple 4636. Both Miatas are beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you like the big Miata and my regular NA. Yeah. A lot of people don't do that. They're like, hey, I like your Mini Viper. They don't like, hey, I like your big Miata. Yeah, I got a hardtop Miata, and I have a NA convertible Miata. You're the first person to do that on YouTube, so congrats, man. That's a good one. No, if people make fun of Miatas right up until they drive one, and then they're on Marketplace and they're like, "Can I get a Miata like with a hardtop for less than $8,000? Come on, give me an NA or an NB. Come on, give me something." Trust me, I have as much fun in this car as I do in the Miata. They are two different speeds, but I'm having as much fun in both cars. So yeah, you can't. If you can't have fun in a Miata, you go take up stained glass or something because you're not going to enjoy driving. Let's see what else. Those are all the messages so far. So yeah, if there is something you guys want to see, shoot me a message. I'll put it in here. I'll put the word out to friends and see if we can get it in here and go through the car. And again, if there's something specific you want to see, like I said, how to put a head unit in, how to take a head unit out. I don't know, rear suspension, locking diffs, LSDs, whatever it is, we can pretty much do it. The only thing I can't do, well, in my shop in Ohio, I can do pretty much everything, but here I'm kind of limited. But I don't have an alignment machine, so I have to take it somewhere, the car's somewhere to get aligned. But otherwise, I can do pretty much everything else. So I guess I can do sight alignment. I've done that before, and it's been okay. When not preferred, I definitely prefer the lasers. So we can do pretty much anything here. But if there is something you guys want to see, definitely shoot me a note, and we'll see if we can do a live stream and take care of that. That's always fun when I get requests from people. Hey, can you show me how to, do new battery terminals, or change out the pads on an '08 Altima? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah, Liz has a really cool little Miata too. She just got, so she's learning all about Miatas. I've had that one for about 10 years, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff to it, and I absolutely love it. It is such a fun car, and here in Florida, it's a great car. Throw that top down, cruise around, it's awesome. Yep, great car. So again, thank you everyone. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. It means you're liking what I'm doing here. This is a no bullshit channel. I'm not editing anything out. You get to see, if I break something, you'll get to see me unbreak it and fix it. If the car turns over on the first turn of the key, you guys get to celebrate with me. So I don't cut any of this stuff up. I don't edit out any of the mistakes or bullshit or anything like that. This is all straightforward. And some people like that stuff, the longer forms where I do this stuff. Some people don't like it. And if it's not your thing, there's 200 million other channels you can go watch, something like that, 240 million other channels. So there's a lot of other stuff out there. But if you guys like this, That's cool. I'm going to keep doing it. And I love doing it. It's a lot of fun for me. So, um, yeah, I appreciate you guys. And like I said, pictures on social media from the party tomorrow night, and then live streaming from Rolex, from the Rolex 24 whenever I can. If I can do it on Friday, I will. If I can, I will definitely try to do it Saturday or maybe really, really super early in the morning on Sunday. And I'd really like to get the group of us after 23 hours and 45 minutes of watching racing, getting us together and seeing how jacked up our hair is and bags under our eyes and trying to stay awake for the finish of the race. So if I can do that, I'll get the group together for that. Oh, excuse me. But that's it for tonight. I'm going to finish wiping the car down, getting it super clean, and load it on the trailer in the morning, go up to Daytona. So thanks again, everyone, for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you can see the difference between last night where it was not very clean and tonight where it was much cleaner. And hopefully you can see it on the Miata too. And that's about it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them. Give them a kiss on the cheek, give them a kiss on the tip of their nose, hold their hand, give it a squeeze. It is really important for them, but it's far more important for you. All right, thanks everyone. I'll catch you tomorrow. Or I'll catch you this weekend. We're going to Daytona. It's going to be fun.